Hey
Hi,
there.
we are going to talk about loose parts, and we are finishing off our week of pictures and ideas for loose parts, so we wanted to share with you some of our loose parts, and we're at Breakheart Reservation in Saugus, and
It's lovely outside. And these are literally things we had around our house. We didn't buy any of these things. They were collections and loose parts of things we found around the house. And we just spread them out on a picnic table, and we're going to give you some ideas. So believe it or not, I actually have a lot of corks. I won't tell you where they came from because corks belong in lots of different types of bottles, and corks are all over the Reggio Emilia approach to learning with kids. We just decided to put these on a flat mirror so that you can get a different perspective of how things look when they're on a mirror. You could put any of your loose parts collections on a safe mirror, depending upon the ages of your children, obviously. You have to decide what's safe and what's appropriate. Moving on.
okay, so now we have paper straws, and look at that, how simple it is. So there we have paper straws. Children can sort them, they can bend them, they can do whatever they want with them, but right there is a great example of something that's inexpensive that might be hanging around your house that children can explore with.
So this is just a rock collection, and these rocks happen to all be shaped somewhat like a heart, if not very much like a heart. And this is a collection that I've had for years and years and years, but any kind of rocks, they don't have to be shaped like a heart. Kids will sort and play and differentiate the different stones and keep them. You'll see, I think, that all of our things are in nice baskets. They're not just tossed out on a plastic crate or something for kids. So be thinking about how you display things for children to use.
And if you want to think about how children understand smaller to larger and different colors and different sizes, this is a great opportunity to do that. And you're not using a worksheet. You're actually
Hooray!
using a material that's natural that children can explore with.
So this little bowl happened to be made in Ghana, which is nice for some differentiated kinds of materials and materials that respect different cultures. These are just napkin rings. These are the ones that I use at Christmas time or around the holidays, but they can be used for a variety of things. And remember, when your kids take these and head to the Play-Doh table or the paint station, that's okay. That's a good thing. Don't let them think they have to keep it clean or neat or in that bowl. They can do lots of different things with them.
When children bring something to a different area, you want to encourage that because that means that they're exploring and they have an idea, and you want to enforce those ideas. You want to encourage those ideas. And here we have something just almost fell over a log. Okay, this we have
This is just cardboard.
And it just came from packaging that you can put in the block area or outdoors that children can, use as garage, whatever they want.
Garages, ramps, stations, buildings, anything at all.
And again, they'll come up with what they think is, they think it is, and what that's important.
Here's some more napkin rings from back in the day when people used napkin rings a lot. All different types, all different sizes, all different shapes, all different sounds, all different textures. And children can utilize these in a variety of ways. It's not up to us to tell them what to do or how to do it. It's up to them to figure out what they'd like to do. Again, in a basket.
I also want to mention that this is a great way to get parents involved. So if you are looking at, you have some napkin rings, you can put out a note to parents or an email or something saying, if anyone has any napkin rings they're not using, we're starting a collection. Or if anyone has any paper straws or corks or whatever we're showing you, reach out to parents. It's a great way to get them involved in your curriculum and what you're working on.
Totally agree.
This is a bottle collection, and it's just all different color, all different types, all different sizes. This one I think is my favorite because it says on the side of it poison. It used to be a medicine bottle, and I think that would be a great conversation if a child asked what it said, and you could have a discussion about poison. I think that's kind of cool and fun. But there's just different bottles. Children can sort them. They can go from smaller to larger, and I know a lot of people have an issue with glass, but let's face it, children are exposed to glass all the time, and I think it's important for them to understand how to that it's fragile and how to be careful with it and that it can break. And I think that's important for young children.
Totally agree. Just remember, you know your children, you know your audience, you know what's safe and what's not safe for them. So utilize things in the way that you know is best. I don't know if any of you drink tea, but I used to drink tea, and the type of tea I bought, which I think was Red Rose, came with all these little small glass figurines, animals, there's turtles, there's all kinds of different things. But for children to be able to just dig through and discover and say, hey, these two are the same, or for you to lead the conversation and the learning to say, can you find me a brown cat, and see if they can come up with a brown cat. This is a way for children to learn about colors and animals without you torturing them through worksheets and rote and flashcards. Please get rid of the flashcards. If I can go in here and say, look I found 3 white sheep, I only have 2. I do know what 3 is, but let's say I found 3 white sheep. You know that I know the number 3, I know white, and I know sheep. That's a lot of learning right there, that it came from the child, not a worksheet.
These are the old DVR type discs that people used to use on their computers. Children are fascinated by them just because of the light and the color that they just throw off. Children can use them in their artwork. They can do whatever they want with them. They can put a string through the hole if they want to and create some sort of an awesome decoration to put in the window. Just different.
They'd be a
just
lot of
metal.
fun to have outside on the playground. This would be a great Loose Parts playground opportunity to create things that you can hang from trees or fences or things like that, and they reflect the light. They're really neat.
And this is just a spoon collection. You all have spoons, I'm guessing, around the house. And this is just a spoon collection. You can talk to children about how the spoons are different, how they're alike, what you use them for. And it's just another way that children learn through everyday experiences and everyday items, because that's what is important for them, to understand the world around them. And this is part of the world around them, is spoons. Every day they use them.
Sure thing. Same with cookie cutters. This just happens to be something that Leanne had at her home. You can use these, obviously, I'm sure you do, with Play-Doh, but how else can you use these? We want to challenge you to think outside of the norm. What do you do that's not just what you've always done? What can you do differently?
And again, here are some materials displayed on a basket. We have some shells, and children can sort those as to ones that are alike in shape and color and things like that. Then we have white rocks. Literally, these are free. You can get rocks at the beach. You can get them in the woods. You can get them wherever you want. There's lots of things you can do with them. In the middle here, we have little metal stones that have different words on them. So again, there's some literacy right there, and children can sort them.
And there's
feel
also
them.
Chinese figures, characters on the back as well.
So you get some multicultural material in there too. And then just some marbles. Marbles are neat. Children love to look at marbles. They're all so different. They all have, some have bubbles in them that they'll notice. And this one has some painting on it, but very different. It's stuff that children can explore and have fun with.
And I know what some people are already thinking, oh no, they'd put that in their mouth or they'd put that up their nose. They might. So you have to think about how you're going to utilize things and how you're going to supervise things and which kids could or couldn't use things like this. We have plenty of opportunities for those of you to be here that don't have to feel unsafe to you. And if you think it's unsafe, the kids are going to get that vibe from you. So be really careful about the way you present things and talk to children about what you have.
And last but not least, we have just sticks, and children can do lots of things with these sticks. And don't be afraid of sticks, because they're part of our world. And if you make sure that children understand that, they're going to use them and they're going to sort them and they're going to look at them and see if they look like a letter, or see if if there's something about them that's the same on the same type of stick, or if they're different. There's lots of things that children can explore with sticks. They can make them go from smaller to larger. They can look at the different design. They can see the bark coming off of some of the sticks. Very cool. Again, free. And we hear teachers complain all the time that you don't have materials, but guess what? Materials are all around you, and you can really and truly, if you look deep enough and you ask parents to help out, you can have lots of materials to use in your classroom.
And we know some of you are thinking, oh, the kids will use those sticks as guns. Yes, they will. They'll also use their finger and their thumb as a gun. You know how that goes? So that's an opportunity for learning. That's an opportunity for dialogue and discussion. I think our next little junket and video should be a natural one, Leanne, where we're out in the woods or out in the environment or out at the ocean, and we can pull out lots of things that are completely free for people to use. But take a look at this table full of loose parts. You can do this too.
And stay tuned for our next, I guess it's a nature video that we're going to do. So stay tuned, and hopefully you're getting some good ideas. We'd love to hear some feedback. If there's something in particular you want us to talk about or focus on, we'd love to do that. So, put a message down in the comments section, and feel free to let us know what you think.
And share your loose parts ideas with us.
Yes,
Send
please.
them to Leanne, lsusie@northshore.edu.
Great. Have a good one. Thanks, guys.